Life is full of decisions that make us wonder whether to stay in a situation or walk away. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that making these choices isn't about following emotions, but about doing what aligns with our values, purpose, and peace of mind. Stoicism helps us approach these decisions with clarity and strength, focusing on what truly matters. Sometimes, staying in a difficult situation is necessary for growth. Stoicism teaches us that challenges are opportunities to build our character. Other times, the right choice is to walk away in order to protect our inner peace and well-being. Knowing when to stay and when to leave requires wisdom, self-awareness, and emotional control. The Stoics didn't just teach us to endure pain or adversity blindly. They showed us how to make choices that bring us closer to living a virtuous life. It's not about avoiding discomfort. It's about understanding what helps us grow and what drains our energy. Stoicism encourages us to reflect and act thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. So, how do we know when to stay and when to walk away? In this video, we'll explore the Stoic principles that guide us in making these difficult decisions with confidence, peace, and purpose. 1. Stay when it builds your character. In life, we often face challenges that seem overwhelming or uncomfortable. The Stoics believed that these difficult situations are actually opportunities for growth. Staying in tough situations can help you develop strength, resilience, and wisdom. Instead of running away from discomfort, Stoicism teaches us to face it head-on, because it can be the very thing that shapes us into better versions of ourselves. When you choose to stay in a difficult situation, you're choosing to build your character. Think about it. Every time you push through a challenge, you gain experience and learn something new. The Stoics believed that adversity is what helps us develop the virtues of patience, courage, and self-discipline. These virtues are the building blocks of a strong, resilient character. Take, for example, a situation at work where you're facing constant pressure and stress. While it may feel tempting to quit or walk away, staying and finding ways to manage the pressure will teach you how to stay calm under stress. This not only builds your mental resilience, but also shows you how to handle difficult people or situations with grace. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In simple terms, this means that the obstacles we face in life aren't there to stop us. They're there to help us grow. Each challenge is a chance to become stronger and more capable of handling future hardships. When you stay and persevere, you also learn the value of persistence. It's easy to give up when things get tough, but the real growth happens when you keep going despite the odds. Each time you push through a difficult moment, you prove to yourself that you are capable of overcoming challenges. This builds a sense of self-trust and confidence that will stay with you for life. Staying in a tough situation also teaches you patience. The Stoics believed that patience was one of the most important virtues because it allows us to endure hardship without becoming angry or upset. By choosing to stay and face the situation, you learn to accept the things you cannot change, and you grow more patient and understanding in the process. Additionally, staying in a difficult situation can help you understand what you truly value. When faced with a tough decision, ask yourself, what am I learning from this? Even in the most challenging circumstances, there is always a lesson to be learned. By staying and reflecting, you can discover new insights about yourself and the world around you. A key part of Stoic philosophy is the idea of embracing hardship as a way to strengthen your mind. The Stoics didn't shy away from difficulties. They saw them as opportunities to train their minds to stay calm, focused, and wise. By staying in difficult situations, you're engaging in mental training that prepares you for future challenges. Furthermore, choosing to stay builds your emotional resilience. Life isn't always smooth sailing, and knowing how to stay composed during tough times is crucial. Every time you face a challenge and resist the urge to give up, you strengthen your ability to deal with future emotional stress. This emotional resilience is key to maintaining a peaceful and balanced life. Finally, when you choose to stay, you're also modeling strength for others. People around you notice how you handle adversity, and your ability to persevere can inspire and motivate them to do the same. By staying and working through difficulties, you not only build your own character, but also influence others to act with strength and courage in their own lives. 2. Walk away when it threatens your inner peace. In life, we encounter situations or people that can disrupt our sense of calm and peace. Stoicism teaches us that our inner peace is one of the most valuable things we can protect. Sometimes the best decision isn't to stay and fight, but to walk away from situations that no longer serve us or are damaging to our mental and emotional well-being. One of the key Stoic teachings is that we cannot control the actions of others, nor can we control all circumstances. What we can control, however, is how we respond to them. If staying in a particular situation is causing unnecessary stress, anxiety, or frustration, it's time to recognize that it's harming your peace. Walking away doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're wise enough to know when to let go. Walking away doesn't always require a dramatic or harsh decision. It can be as simple as distancing yourself mentally or emotionally from a situation that brings you negative energy. When you feel that something is constantly pulling you away from your center, it's a sign to reassess whether it's worth your time, energy, and peace. Epictetus, another Stoic philosopher, said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." If your reaction to a situation is consistently causing you stress, frustration, or emotional turmoil, it's time to step back. Sometimes, walking away is the best form of self-care, a decision made out of love for your own mental health. In some cases, walking away might mean removing yourself from toxic relationships or environments. Whether it's a friendship, family dynamic, or work situation, some people and environments have a negative impact on our mental state. If the relationship or situation is draining you and offers no hope for improvement, walking away can be the healthiest choice for maintaining your peace. The Stoics were firm believers in the importance of emotional control. They understood that negative emotions like anger, resentment, and fear can cloud judgment and prevent us from living virtuously. If staying in a situation means allowing these emotions to take control, then it may be wise to walk away. This doesn't mean avoiding discomfort, but rather choosing to prioritize your peace over unnecessary emotional turbulence. When we're constantly surrounded by negativity or conflict, it can wear down our sense of peace and happiness. Walking away from these situations helps us preserve our emotional well-being. You are not giving up. You are protecting your mental and emotional health by choosing to move away from circumstances that harm you. Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius encouraged us to focus on the things that truly matter in life. If something is repeatedly disturbing your peace without bringing value or growth, it becomes clear that walking away is the more rational decision. Protecting your mind and spirit from unnecessary chaos helps you maintain clarity and focus on the things that align with your purpose. Sometimes walking away can also be a form of forgiveness. By choosing to walk away from someone who has wronged you or a situation that has hurt you, you release the grip that anger or resentment has on your life. This act of letting go frees you from the hold that negativity has, allowing you to move forward with peace. Ultimately, the Stoic practice of walking away is a reminder that we don't have to endure every uncomfortable situation. We are not obligated to remain in environments or relationships that take away our peace. By walking away, we regain control of our emotional well-being and make space for healthier, more positive experiences. 3. Trust the process of letting go. Letting go can feel incredibly difficult, especially when we are attached to something or someone. We often hold on to relationships, possessions, or even past experiences because they provide us with a sense of security or familiarity. However, Stoicism teaches us that holding on too tightly to things beyond our control can cause unnecessary suffering. Trusting the process of letting go is a powerful way to free ourselves from attachments that no longer serve our well-being. The Stoics believed that we should not become overly attached to external things, whether they are material possessions, people, or even our own emotions. In the end, these things are outside of our control, and clinging to them can lead to frustration when they inevitably change or disappear. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, wrote, "Loss is natural. Don't resist it. Don't cling to things that are temporary." By accepting this natural impermanence, we begin to understand that letting go is a necessary part of living. When we hold on to things that no longer serve us, we create unnecessary emotional weight. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack full of rocks. Each rock represents an attachment or burden that drags you down. The longer you carry it, the more exhausted and weighed down you feel. Letting go of these burdens lightens our mental and emotional load, allowing us to move forward with clarity and peace. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring about someone or something. It means you are accepting that you cannot control everything. Sometimes you have to release control and trust that what's meant for you will find its way. Whether it's letting go of a toxic relationship, an unfulfilling job, or past mistakes, the process of release allows you to make space for new opportunities and personal growth. In the Stoic worldview, accepting what is out of our control and letting go of our attachments to them is a path to peace. When we trust the process, we stop struggling against the natural flow of life. We stop trying to hold on to things that are slipping away and start focusing on what we can control, our own actions, thoughts, and responses. The act of letting go is often tied to the idea of forgiveness. Stoicism encourages us to forgive not for the other person's sake, but for our own. Holding on to resentment, anger, or past wounds only keeps us anchored in the past. By choosing to let go of these emotions, we free ourselves from their grip and can move forward with a lighter heart and a clearer mind. Trusting the process of letting go is also an act of self-care. When you release what is no longer contributing positively to your life, you make room for new experiences, relationships, and growth. By doing so, you embrace change and invite the possibility of better things ahead. As the Stoics believed, everything in life is temporary, and each moment is an opportunity to realign with what truly matters. Letting go requires patience and trust in the flow of life. It might be uncomfortable at first, especially if you've been holding on to something for a long time, but with time, you'll realize that release brings freedom. By accepting that things change and evolve, you open yourself up to new possibilities that you may not have been able to see while clinging to the past. Sometimes the process of letting go involves facing your fears and uncertainties. The fear of the unknown often keeps us attached to what is familiar, even when it no longer serves us. But the Stoics teach us that fear is often a product of our minds, not reality. By embracing the unknown with courage and trust, we give ourselves the chance to experience life as it is, rather than as we wish it to be. The Stoic practice of letting go also helps us develop emotional resilience. The more we practice releasing our attachments, the better we become at handling change. We learn that nothing in life is permanent, and that's okay. This acceptance gives us the strength to face new challenges and changes without fear or resistance. 4. Evaluate the core purpose. One of the most important aspects of knowing when to stay or walk away is understanding your core purpose. Stoicism teaches us to live in alignment with our values and to focus on what truly matters in life. When we are clear about our purpose, it becomes easier to make decisions that bring us peace and fulfillment. Evaluating your core purpose helps you determine if a situation is in alignment with your true goals or if it's simply taking up space in your life. Your core purpose is like a compass that guides you through the complexities of life. It is the deeper reason behind everything you do, your motivations, your values, and your vision for your future. When you are faced with a decision, whether it's staying or walking away, evaluating your core purpose allows you to ask yourself, does this situation help me move closer to my purpose, or does it pull me further away from it? In Stoic philosophy, the idea of living in accordance with nature is central. This means living in alignment with your true self and purpose. If something or someone is preventing you from following that path, it may be time to step away. The Stoics understood that our actions should be guided by virtue and reason, not by fleeting emotions or external pressures. If a situation is not contributing to your growth, peace, or sense of purpose, walking away might be the most virtuous choice. Evaluating your core purpose also involves assessing whether staying in a situation aligns with your long-term well-being. Sometimes we stay in situations because we fear change or because we believe we should stick things out. But the Stoics remind us that our primary responsibility is to ourselves, and that means making decisions that lead to the greatest growth and peace. If staying in a situation hinders your growth or well-being, it's a sign to reconsider your commitment to it. When you evaluate your core purpose, it's important to reflect on the bigger picture. Ask yourself, is this situation helping me become the person I want to be? Life isn't about avoiding discomfort, but about making decisions that help us grow, build meaningful connections, and live in alignment with our highest values. Sometimes staying in a situation that goes against your core purpose can lead to regret, while walking away opens up opportunities for a more authentic life. The process of evaluating your core purpose requires introspection and self-awareness. It's about taking a step back and honestly assessing what truly matters to you. Is your current situation helping you move toward that? If not, it may be time to let go. The Stoics encourage us to live with intention, and that means making decisions that reflect our true desires and values, not the expectations of others or temporary distractions. By clarifying your core purpose, you gain the clarity needed to make difficult decisions. Instead of being driven by impulse or fear, you can confidently evaluate situations based on how well they align with your purpose. This kind of clear thinking allows you to avoid being swayed by the opinions of others or the pressure of the moment, helping you make decisions that support your long-term happiness and fulfillment. When your decisions are guided by purpose, you're less likely to get caught up in short-term emotional reactions or external distractions. Instead, you're focused on what truly matters to you, which brings peace of mind. Stoicism teaches us that external events are beyond our control, but our responses to them are not. By evaluating our core purpose, we can make choices that lead to a life of greater alignment, joy, and fulfillment. Evaluating your core purpose also helps you recognize when something is no longer serving you. People, situations, and opportunities can change, and what once aligned with your purpose may no longer do so. Being open to change and re-evaluating your choices regularly helps you stay true to your purpose, ensuring that your life is always moving in the right direction. Ultimately, the Stoic practice of evaluating your core purpose empowers you to make decisions that are in harmony with your true self. Whether you decide to stay or walk away, aligning your actions with your purpose ensures that you are living a life of intention, growth, and peace. 5. Avoid emotional reactions. One of the most powerful Stoic teachings is the importance of controlling our emotions rather than being controlled by them. Emotional reactions often lead to decisions that we regret, especially when we're caught in the heat of the moment. Stoicism teaches us that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Avoiding emotional reactions in challenging situations is essential for maintaining inner peace and making wise decisions. When we react emotionally, we're often allowing external circumstances or other people's actions to dictate our thoughts and behaviors. This loss of control can lead to impulsive decisions that are not in alignment with our true values or purpose. For example, in moments of anger, frustration, or fear, we might make decisions that we later wish we hadn't, simply because we let our emotions take the driver's seat. The Stoics understood that emotional reactions are often temporary and fleeting, but their consequences can be long-lasting. The key to avoiding emotional reactions is self-awareness. The first step is recognizing when your emotions are starting to rise. In difficult situations, take a moment to pause and breathe. Rather than rushing into a reaction, give yourself space to process your feelings and thoughts. This pause allows you to evaluate the situation more rationally, without being clouded by intense emotions. In Stoicism, we are encouraged to practice mindfulness, being fully aware of our thoughts and emotions without letting them control us. When you feel an emotional reaction coming on, instead of acting on it immediately, acknowledge it. I'm feeling angry right now, or I'm afraid of what might happen. Simply naming your emotions helps create a distance between you and the feeling itself, allowing you to choose a more measured response. One powerful Stoic technique is to ask yourself whether the situation is really worth an emotional reaction. Will this moment matter in the long run? Is it worth sacrificing your peace of mind for a temporary emotional response? More often than not, the answer is no. By reminding ourselves of the impermanence of emotions and situations, we can avoid getting swept up in reactions that only disturb our inner calm. Another important Stoic principle is the understanding that we can only control our own actions and reactions. We cannot control other people or the external events that affect us, but we do have control over how we respond. If someone says something hurtful or a situation doesn't go our way, we can choose to stay calm and respond thoughtfully, rather than allowing anger, resentment, or frustration to dictate our behavior. When we avoid emotional reactions, we are not only protecting our peace, but we are also taking control of our lives. Sometimes, stepping away from a situation can help us avoid emotional reactions. If you're in a heated conversation or experiencing strong emotions, taking a moment to walk away and collect your thoughts can be a wise decision. This doesn't mean you're avoiding the issue. It means you are giving yourself the opportunity to calm down, think clearly, and return with a more rational and composed response. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of perspective in avoiding emotional reactions. They encouraged us to view situations from a broader point of view, recognizing that our emotions are often based on how we interpret events. By practicing cognitive reframing, we can change our perspective and see challenges as opportunities for growth rather than threats to our well-being. This shift in mindset can prevent us from reacting impulsively and instead help us approach situations with calmness and clarity. In moments of anger, sadness, or frustration, remind yourself that emotions are not inherently bad. They are simply signals from our minds about how we're perceiving a situation. However, we have the power to choose how we respond to those signals. By cultivating emotional resilience, we can learn to avoid reacting automatically and instead choose responses that align with our true values and purpose. Finally, remember that avoiding emotional reactions doesn't mean suppressing your feelings. It means learning to express emotions in a healthy and controlled manner rather than letting them dictate your behavior. Acknowledge your emotions, but don't allow them to drive your decisions. This practice allows you to stay grounded in your principles and make choices that support your long-term peace and well-being. 6. Recognize the cost of staying or leaving. One of the most crucial aspects of making the decision to stay or walk away from a situation is recognizing the costs involved in both choices. In Stoicism, every decision we make comes with consequences, and understanding these costs helps us make more informed and rational decisions. Recognizing the cost of staying or leaving is a key component of aligning our actions with our values and ensuring that our decisions serve our long-term well-being. When you choose to stay in a situation, whether it's a relationship, job, or commitment, it's important to understand what you're sacrificing in doing so. Staying in a situation that no longer serves your growth or peace can lead to frustration, stagnation, or even emotional distress. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in alignment with our true purpose, and if staying in a particular circumstance prevents us from pursuing that purpose, the cost of staying becomes clear. Staying might mean missing out on opportunities for personal growth, freedom, or peace. Similarly, when you choose to leave, there are costs associated with that as well. Leaving a situation can come with feelings of uncertainty, fear, or loss. You might worry about the unknown or fear that you're making a mistake. The cost of leaving might also include letting go of something you've invested time and energy into. The Stoics teach us to embrace change as a natural part of life, but they also acknowledge that change can be difficult and requires courage. However, if staying would lead to further suffering or prevent your growth, the cost of leaving, while challenging, may ultimately be less than the cost of remaining stuck. It's essential to assess the emotional, mental, and physical costs of both choices. Staying in an unhealthy relationship, for example, may cause emotional turmoil, while leaving may cause initial discomfort and uncertainty. Similarly, staying in a job that drains your energy or misaligns with your values can cost you your peace of mind and sense of fulfillment, while leaving might create temporary instability or anxiety. Understanding the emotional toll of both options helps you make a decision that best serves your long-term happiness and inner peace. In the Stoic mindset, one of the most important costs to consider is the loss of peace and tranquility. If staying in a situation is causing you emotional turmoil, anxiety, or distress, it may be time to ask yourself if the situation is truly worth the cost. The Stoics believed that our inner peace should be our highest priority, and any situation that threatens that peace is a high cost to bear. On the other hand, leaving a situation that no longer aligns with your values may bring temporary discomfort, but it can restore your peace and well-being. Recognizing the cost of staying or leaving also involves considering your long-term goals and values. Sometimes we may feel compelled to stay because of short-term rewards or comforts, but when we look at the bigger picture, we might realize that staying holds us back from reaching our fullest potential. Walking away might be difficult, but in the long run, it could open up space for new opportunities and personal growth. The Stoics teach us to focus on the long-term effects of our decisions, rather than being swayed by immediate gratification. In some cases, the cost of staying may include the opportunity to learn valuable lessons. Difficult situations can offer us opportunities for growth, self-discovery, and strengthening our resilience. If staying in a situation challenges us to become better versions of ourselves, the cost of staying might actually be worth it. However, if staying only leads to further frustration, stress, or harm, the cost may far outweigh any potential benefits. It's also important to consider the relationships and connections involved. The decision to stay or leave often affects not only ourselves, but also others around us. If staying in a situation negatively impacts the people we care about, it might be time to reevaluate whether the cost of staying is worth the harm it may cause. On the other hand, leaving might create discomfort for others, but it could also lead to healthier, more supportive relationships in the future. The Stoics encourage us to make decisions that consider the well-being of everyone involved, while also ensuring we don't sacrifice our own growth and peace. In making the decision, it helps to take a step back and view the situation from a broader perspective. The Stoics practiced the art of reflection and perspective-taking, recognizing that emotions often cloud our judgment. When we take the time to truly assess both the short-term and long-term costs of staying or leaving, we can make decisions that are more rational and aligned with our values. 7. Practice amor fati, love of fate. One of the most powerful Stoic practices is the concept of amor fati, which translates to love of fate. This philosophy teaches us to embrace everything that happens in our lives, both the good and the bad, as necessary parts of our journey. Rather than resisting or resenting the challenges we face, Stoics encourage us to see them as opportunities for growth and learning. Practicing amor fati means not only accepting life as it unfolds, but loving it, understanding that each experience, whether positive or negative, contributes to our personal evolution. In life, we often face situations that challenge us, frustrate us, or seem unfair. It's natural to want to avoid pain and hardship, but amor fati teaches us that everything we experience has a purpose, even if we can't see it right away. The Stoics believed that by accepting and loving our fate, we free ourselves from unnecessary suffering and frustration. Instead of fighting against the events we cannot control, we can embrace them, knowing they are part of our personal development and our larger story. When we practice amor fati, we begin to shift our mindset from one of resistance to one of acceptance. Instead of wishing things were different or blaming external circumstances, we choose to love the present moment as it is. This doesn't mean passively accepting negative circumstances or resigning ourselves to them. Rather, it means finding meaning in them and choosing to grow from them. Every difficulty, setback, or disappointment becomes an opportunity to develop resilience, wisdom, and character. One way to practice amor fati is to reframe our perspective on challenges. When faced with obstacles, ask yourself, how can this situation help me grow? Or, what lesson can I learn from this? By doing so, we stop seeing life's difficulties as burdens and start viewing them as valuable experiences that contribute to our growth. This mindset shift enables us to approach life's inevitable challenges with greater strength and positivity, knowing that every experience is ultimately for our benefit. The Stoics often spoke of the idea that we are not in control of what happens to us, but we are in control of how we respond. By practicing amor fati, we recognize that life is constantly unfolding, and it is our response to what happens that determines our peace of mind. Rather than resenting the twists and turns of life, we choose to love them, trusting that everything happens as it should. In doing so, we cultivate inner peace and resilience, regardless of external circumstances. Another key aspect of amor fati is recognizing that life is a series of interconnected events. The Stoics believed that the universe operates according to a rational order, and each event, no matter how seemingly random or difficult, plays a role in the larger cosmic plan. By accepting this truth, we learn to embrace every moment, knowing that each experience has meaning and is part of a bigger picture. Even the most painful events can become opportunities for personal transformation when viewed through the lens of amor fati. This practice also helps us let go of the need for control. We cannot control everything that happens in life, but we can control how we react to it. By accepting everything as part of our journey, we free ourselves from the burden of needing things to go a certain way. Instead of striving to change the past or worrying about the future, we focus on making the best of the present moment. Amor fati teaches us to trust that life, in all its complexities, is unfolding as it should. In relationships, amor fati teaches us to embrace both the joy and the challenges they bring. We often experience conflicts, misunderstandings, and disappointments in our relationships, but by practicing amor fati, we can love the full range of experiences, knowing that they are helping us grow as individuals. Each relationship, whether it ends in happiness or hardship, teaches us valuable lessons about ourselves and others. Embracing the full spectrum of these experiences allows us to cultivate more meaningful, compassionate, and resilient connections. It's important to note that practicing amor fati doesn't mean we should passively accept harm or injustice. Stoicism encourages us to act in accordance with virtue and to take responsibility for our actions. However, when things outside of our control go wrong, amor fati reminds us to accept and love those events, trusting that they will lead us to greater wisdom, strength, and peace. 8. Learn from both staying and leaving. Whether you choose to stay in a situation or walk away from it, both decisions offer valuable lessons that can help shape your growth. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that every experience, no matter the outcome, serves as a teacher. By reflecting on what we learn from both staying and leaving, we can make wiser choices in the future and continue to align ourselves with our values and purpose. The key is to approach both decisions with an open mind and a willingness to learn from the process. When you decide to stay in a situation, especially one that is challenging or uncomfortable, it's important to ask yourself what you can learn from the experience. Staying in difficult circumstances can often reveal hidden strengths, resilience, and aspects of our character that we may not have known existed. The Stoics believed in the power of adversity to build inner strength, and when we remain in tough situations, we often gain a deeper understanding of ourselves. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this challenge? How is this helping me grow as a person? Staying in a situation that challenges us can lead to personal development, wisdom, and a better understanding of our limits and abilities. At the same time, staying too long in a situation that no longer serves us can also teach us valuable lessons about what we truly value and need. It may help us identify what we're afraid to let go of, or why we're holding on to something out of fear or comfort. The act of staying, even when it's painful, can offer insight into our attachment to things, people, or outcomes. The Stoics encourage us to question our attachments and practice detachment from things outside our control. Staying in a situation for too long can reveal our fears and help us confront them, ultimately allowing us to break free from unhealthy attachments and grow stronger. On the other hand, choosing to walk away from a situation can also provide us with valuable insights. Sometimes, walking away is the most empowering choice we can make. It teaches us the importance of setting boundaries and recognizing when something is no longer contributing to our well-being or growth. By walking away, we learn that it's okay to let go of situations that no longer align with our values or purpose. It teaches us the importance of self-respect and the courage to prioritize our own peace and happiness, even if it means stepping into the unknown. Leaving a situation can also teach us about the power of choice. In Stoicism, we recognize that we always have the ability to choose how we respond to life's challenges. Walking away from something that no longer serves us is a demonstration of that power. It's an act of taking responsibility for our own lives and ensuring that we are making choices that align with our highest purpose. The process of leaving can empower us, showing us that we are not bound by external circumstances, but are free to create the life we want to live. Reflecting on both staying and leaving allows us to grow from every experience, regardless of the outcome. When we stay, we learn about our resilience, patience, and the value of persistence. When we leave, we learn about our ability to recognize when something no longer serves us and the courage to make a change. Both choices, when viewed through the lens of Stoicism, become opportunities for growth and self-discovery. Each situation offers a unique lesson, and the key is to remain open to those lessons. The Stoics taught that life is not about avoiding difficulties, but about how we approach and respond to them. Whether we stay or leave, we can choose to approach the situation with wisdom and reflection. Every experience, good or bad, helps us build the character and resilience needed to navigate the challenges of life. By learning from both staying and leaving, we continue to evolve as individuals, making decisions that bring us closer to our true selves and our highest purpose. In addition, learning from both staying and leaving can help us make better decisions in the future. The more we reflect on our past experiences, the more we understand ourselves and what truly matters to us. When we approach situations with a mindset of learning and growth, we become more equipped to handle similar situations in the future. We gain the ability to recognize patterns, identify what worked well, and avoid making the same mistakes. It's also important to remember that both staying and leaving are valid choices, and neither is inherently better than the other. The Stoics emphasized the importance of rational thinking and clear judgment. The decision to stay or leave should be based on thoughtful reflection and the understanding of what will lead to our long-term well-being. By learning from both decisions, we can approach future challenges with greater clarity, confidence, and wisdom. Conclusion. In life, knowing when to stay and when to walk away is an essential skill for personal growth and peace of mind. Both decisions, whether we stay in a situation that challenges us or leave one that threatens our well-being, offer unique opportunities for learning. By staying, we build character, resilience, and patience. By leaving, we set boundaries, prioritize our peace, and take control of our journey. Each decision, when made with thoughtful reflection, can lead us closer to the person we aspire to become. The Stoic philosophy teaches us that life is filled with moments that test our strength and wisdom. Every choice, big or small, helps shape our path. By practicing Stoic principles such as emotional control, self-awareness, and acceptance of fate, we can make decisions that align with our highest purpose. Remember, it's not about avoiding discomfort or struggle, but about choosing the path that will lead to our growth and inner peace. Whether you decide to stay or walk away, the key is to learn from each experience. Embrace both the challenges and the lessons that come with them. Life is about constant learning, and by reflecting on our choices, we can make better decisions in the future. Trust that each step, no matter where it leads, is part of your personal evolution. If you found this content helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom. Stay tuned for more insights on how to live a life of purpose, inner peace, and true resilience. Let's continue this journey together.